T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Good morning, everybody. Happy early Thanksgiving, and welcome back to another episode of Kush's Corner on the Trap Talk Reptile Network, the coolest reptile network in the world. MJ is back with me today for another episode. We're going to be talking about primarily his chondro breeding success, the 2025 season. Definitely touch on the emerald litter, other stuff as well. Honestly, from my standpoint, he had essentially like the dream season you could hope for with breeding pythons, and something that I definitely want to be able to get to myself. So I'm very interested to get to pick his brain on everything that he did. Before we get into that, as always, USARC. So USARC is the organization that is fighting for our rights to keep our reptiles, to run our reptile businesses, and to live this lifestyle. Check out usarc.org for all of the information you need to know about the organization. That website is also where you can find alerts on any pieces of legislation introduced at either local levels or the national level, as well as updates on any legislation as well. usarc.org is also where you can become a member of the organization. As a community, we have strength in numbers, and the more people that are behind the cause, the better. And here we are. Thank you to everybody who is tuned in live. Definitely a bit of a different timing right now, about 9 hours earlier in the day. So hopefully everyone who wanted to listen found it. Thank you to everyone who's already here in the live chats. If you are here on YouTube, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. New podcast comes out every single day of the week here on the Trap Talk Reptile Network from some of the best hosts in the game, talking about a wide variety of topics from within the reptile industry. So if you are a reptile podcast fan, you have come to the right place. We are also on all the audio platforms, be that Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, wherever you get your podcast from, you can find the Trap Talk Reptile Network. A follow and a 5-star review on any of those platforms would be most appreciated. With that housekeeping out of the way, let's bring MJ onto the show.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Hey, what an intro.
Thank you.
You're good.
Really?
Yeah, dude, you gotten really good.
Appreciate it.
Like, first and foremost, honor to be here. I love everything that you're doing on Wednesday nights. Thanks for doing this morning for me. I appreciate it.
Hey, it works for me too, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah, dude. But honestly, man, like one of the, I guess, pioneers in the podcasting game is NPR. I love the vibe those guys bring. And I feel like that's what you bring to that kind of vibe to this channel, to this network. And what I mean by vibe is like real passionate keepers. Like, I get it. Breeding has been probably the bigger, I guess, attractor for people coming into the hobby. But at the end of the day, when you have OGs like those guys who go to Australia still and P&G and then also just kind of put out amazing content behind their experience, it's awesome, dude. It's good. And so I just want to say thank you for everything you've been doing, Kush, because it really helps bring the substance behind Trap Talk to the full front. So yeah, man, it's an honor to be here. Shout out to everyone in the chats. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy early Thanksgiving. I'm so thankful for everyone and everything out there, especially this hobby. It's the best hobby in the world. I wish I had a Trump impersonation like Kush, but I don't. So I'm not gonna. But I kind of had that energy when I said
don't even try.
I stay in my lane. But yes, honestly, dude, stoked to be here. And yeah, man, everything's been great. The year has fucking flown by, man. I can't believe that 2025 is already done. You know what I mean? So yeah. And here we are, man. Is this my second Kush episode?
Yeah. It's the second one. It was honestly, I think, right around the same time last year too, when we did the first one, maybe a little bit earlier in the year. But wow. I really appreciate those kind words. And
definitely,
it probably, I guess it makes a lot of sense that I would have that kind of NPR vibe, considering that they literally were what got me through high school. Every Tuesday morning, just like downloading the podcast before I leave to go to the train to go to school, and so yeah, I guess that makes perfect sense why that would kind of be kind of be my vibe.
Yeah,
Huge shout out
sure.
to NPR. Love those guys. Great
Yeah,
show. Yeah, I mean, first of all, dude, 2-time proven breeder. What the hell?
Oh, the children.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Woo! Man, you know, it's been a year, Steven. You know, obviously you and I are really close friends, and being that we do podcasting together where we work close, but you know, it's hard to kind of really share the experience it's been like having this second newborn into our lives, which has been a blessing. But man, I'm such a guy of like rhythm and like scheduling. Like I like to get into a flow of things. I like to stay there. But that's not life, dude. It's as much as we would like to get to a point where we could just have one schedule to stick to. It's not always that easy. And so I'm learning that. And it's been quite the adventure so far. You know, luckily, you know, I'm very blessed that my wife's recovered well. She's doing great. Shout out to my wife, Lily. She is amazing, man. Like, you know, shout out to all the mothers out there, but I don't want to, you know, maybe I'm being biased, but she's such a top tier mother, and like her commitment, you know what I mean? Couldn't be more proud for what Lily's doing, but man, it's a lot of work, dude. And, but man, I mean, I'm sure you'll experience this someday, Steven, but don't get in a rush to do it. Please take your time. But you know, it's so worth it, man. All this, you know, sacrificing as far as like your time and, you know, what you like to do on your own, it's so worth it, because there's no better than having, you know, your own seat in front of you, dude. And it's like, you know, when there's little mini versions of yourself, it's just trips you out, dude. But yeah, I'm loving it, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. I can only imagine, you know, I always love spending time over there with you guys, kind of like, you know, getting to hang out with Leo. I'm excited to meet Enzo. It just,
yeah,
you know, to me, it's like, I can't imagine a more fulfilling thing to do in life. So,
and I will say that, you know, as far as you and I go back, you know, and to me, it's far, because I've been friends with you since I kind of started into all this. Well, even before Trap Talk was Trap Talk, you and I were friends. And so,
well, before.
You know, from the time where you and I met at that super show with Forrest, which like I remember being excited, bro. Like I'm talking like in a nervous sense. Like I remember the buildup of finally get to meet you and Forrest was so high. I was like, because finally, you gotta understand, like you guys were the first inspiration I had that wasn't music related or like anything related to like that was keeping me back here in San Diego. It was just all refreshing stuff, and I just felt like I had so much thanks, because like you know, you guys got me zoned into everything that you guys have been in, and Steven, like you're not somebody who was created over the last 5 years individual, and you weren't that individual when I met you. Like you've been rooted into this game for a long time, and I almost like was like, that's kind of why I always looked up to you, because I'm like, dude, look how long someone like Steven has been a part of this, and that was more important to them than anything else. And I feel like that's why I've always kind of held that respect for you. But again, meeting you and Forrest, bro, that's why I always try to preach to people, go link up with these people. Like if you are connected to someone on social media, that's great, but don't just rely on those relationships via social media. Like, dude, if they mean that much to you, link up with this person and see if that takes you anywhere else. And that, look what happened when you and I linked up. Yeah, bro, look at us now. So much has happened, but like we grew up together. Like you and I, you know, we came up literally in this game together. And so, yeah, so you being at my house, and by the way, Steven, for sure, priority number one, gets to stay at my pad. Whenever there's a gathering and people ask me, MJ, can I crash your plate? Steven got it. And then, of course, Brandon Wheeler gets the couch. But yes, that's it, you know. And having you around Leo, and then soon to be Enzo and the family, bro, and seeing you there, it just really makes everything so wholesome. It's ridiculous, man. And so, yeah, going back to just how the people are just as important to the animals. It's so true. It is. It's so true, dude. Because this is a family to me, man. This is all one big family, and it's a lifestyle. The whole list of like, you know, like this is just amazing. Yeah, I mean, you know, I've gotten into periods within like the hobby where I'm kind of like isolated a little bit. You know, I mean that period where I wasn't doing podcasts for a couple of years. Yeah, it gets freaking lonely, man. I mean, you know, you still love the animals, but man, the joy and the fulfillment that you get from doing this just compounds when you have good friendships, and especially when you're able to see people in person. I mean, man, the weekends where it's like us, Marshall, Bill, Ryan, like, man, those are peak memories. Like those times
there. I mean, and the thing is, we don't even talk about reptiles most of the time.
No.
We're just chilling, hanging out. Like,
I would say it's like 20% reptile talk, 80% just laughing at Ryan Young. You know what I mean? and Marshall and Bill, like just that, just that group, and again, like we all know who those people were before we even got close to them. Like we all looked up to those dudes, man. You know what I mean? And when you have someone that you look up to so much become your friends, and again, dude, like I just got to remember, we weren't that tight when I met you at Pomona. Like we had met, but we didn't know where things were really going to go. Yeah. Like me and Forrest had just started Unfiltered Reptiles podcast. I was a rocky individual. Forrest didn't tell me up front how much like he was kind of worried about me, but behind the scenes, apparently he really was. And so you really didn't know where things were going to go at that time. It was so fresh and so brand new. And again, if you kind of just speed things up to now, like none of us would have saw this coming. You know what I mean?
No,
not like
definitely
this.
Not. Yeah, definitely.
Maybe I did. I don't know. I was kind of confident, but then again, like, I did make things a little difficult at one point. And so I even know there was times where I'm like, dude, you need to chill out in some areas, because if not, you are going to lose a lot of good support out there. And so, and you hung, by the way, another more flowers I want to give you. Always hung in there with me, Steven. You never fucking gave up on me. And, you do, I heard from others that you do talk good about me. So yeah, dude, again, like that's another thing that doesn't happen a lot in this hobby. People talk good about other people behind their backs. Like that's not a common thing. It should be more common, but it's not, you know what I mean? And so to have that, knowing that it's a blessing too. Cause the fakeness is what I can't stand, bro. Like, how I am, Steven, with fake people, and the fake people easily expose themselves after so many years of knowing them in this hobby, which you've dealt with a lot of that. And
for sure,
you're good at keeping it together, Steven. Like that's why I'm like, there's been times where I'm like, Steven, you have to say something at this point, back in the day when, dealing with certain people and whatnot, but but again, like we're in control of not having to fuck with those people. Like if certain people make you have to feel some type of way, just disconnect. That's all you have to do.
Yeah. I mean, I'll extend that back to you. You've been there for me the whole way too. And there were moments where you could have been like, go fuck yourself. And here we are still. So I definitely appreciate that. But, as is with everything, but definitely is amplified in this hobby. Like there's, like the mob mentality, certain moments where people like, it's cool to be hating on somebody or whatever it may be. And, people going after like, well, why are you friends with this person? Or like, someone will make a post on Facebook and tag like 100 people, like, these are all my mutual friends that are friends with this piece of shit. And what I've found, and I feel like it was even extra challenging for me kind of navigating this as a very young person, 18, 19, 20, like you're not getting anywhere by turning your back on a friend to appease a mob of people who are angry for a temporary period of time. And, if you keep doing your thing and you're being good to the people who you're around, you're spreading, positivity, good information. If you're doing your thing, like no amount of noise is going to block you, break that down. Like, I guess like one thing after that podcast a couple weeks ago, the Mike Cross episode, there, I'm not going to name any names, but there were some people, in like that chat we had for the episode, like, man, I've been getting some shit since yesterday about it. I'm like, like that's to me just, it's so crazy, but it's not really surprising.
Yeah, because we gotta look at the root of the person talking shit, and again, why, like, what could that, like, if we look like, oh, what can this be? Oh, it's Bob Smith. No fucking wonder. You know what I mean? That's why it's like, it's that simple, because it's like, who's talking shit? Oh, that makes sense why that person's talking shit, because they have issues. And that's all it comes down to. Like, dude, let's think about any mob mentality person or contributor. Who are these people? Like, is it a Marshall? Is it a Gary? Is it a Bill? Is it like a Justin Kabelka? Is it a fucking, there's names I can list that they're not associated with that stuff. And that's me. I don't want to be, dude, go ahead. Go try to take things down. I'm too busy breeding. I'm making money over here. Like, I'm busy. You know what I mean? And these people just aren't busy with their lives, bro. And the thing is, they see people like whoever they're looking at, and they want it so bad where it turns into envy that is ruining their lives. It sucks, man. I've always used that shit. Like when I remember seeing stuff that you had, like the white lips and everything that you posted at one point that I never had, Steven, it never gave me a jealous bone to where I was like, fuck this guy. Like it never did. It just made me be like, I want to be friends with that dude.
Yeah.
And then I want to figure out like how, like I just, all these things as far as what I wanted just became into like, how can I get close to this person so we could figure, like, so I could figure out what I need to do to get on this level.
Yeah.
But again, like you can't control how people's, man, there's some situations out there with some people that are fucked, man. Like, and that's why I sit back, Steven, I go, you know what, dude, like these people's lives are not probably good right now, you know, like, and that's why I can only think, why, how does somebody have time to sit and just be negative and bitch about something to where like, dude, this has nothing to do with you, first and foremost. And if you think about anyone who's really fucking bitching and complaining, what are you fucking bitching and complaining about? You know what I'm saying? But again, you can't control how people's life situations are and how they deal with it, bro. Mental illness is bigger than ever right now. Like there's some legit cases of mental illness. Do you hear about Tinley? My motherfucker getting choked out? You know what I'm saying? And then hitting his wife and all sorts of shit, bro. Like a podcaster. Did you hear about that? No. Bro, it's wild. There's a lot of wild stuff. Motherfuckers, I mean,
that sounds like Tinley. So
yeah, but dude, it's getting to the point where these bottom feeders are just crashing out, and all because like whatever their purpose of in this hobby is, it's just not working out because they're not here for the animals. Like they're not breeding, they're not showing off projects, they're not doing anything interesting to get people to want to come in. They're just fucking speaking on their podcast. You know what I mean? And being negative and attracting more negative people who are doing really bad in the hobby right now. So the line in the sand is so thick right now as far as like people who are successful enjoying the hobby and the people who are just bitter, sour, pissed off, about to check out. Some have already checked out but are still here. Like you got people who sold their collections, maybe didn't even have a collection, but were a part of the animal world, no longer owning an animal, but they're here still. What?
Yeah.
And you're going to influence? Like you want to influence? What are you influencing? So anyways, that's kind of like, it's so ridiculous at this point where I'm just like, dude, God, I'm praying for those people. God bless all of them. I hope they figure it out. I know at one point in my life, I was so miserable where I was just shitting on everything I saw, bro. And that's why I go back to it. I go, man, think about you, MJ, when you were so negative at the point because how much you hated yourself, you hated your life. You were fucking miserable, dude. Miserable people act miserable. That's just what it comes down to. So, but the thing was, I was tired of being miserable. So I figured it out. Like I saw counseling for fucking 4 years. I saw a psychiatrist for a while, bro. I did a bunch of shit to fucking figure out what my issues were. My issues were me. And that's the thing. The problem was me. The problem wasn't fucking my friends. The problem wasn't if the problem was me, I was the fucking issue. So, and even today, if there's an issue going on in my life, it's really because of me. I'm the creator of my own issues. And so, but once you figure that out and you stop fucking blaming other people and you just get to work, life gets easier, bro. That's just what it comes down to.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, I feel like it does take a while to kind of understand, like, okay, get into the mind of somebody who's leaving a shitty comment or something like that. Like, man, I don't know what my life would look like to where I would even have the thought to argue with someone on Facebook. Like, how bad am I doing if that is what like Tuesday at 11 a.m. looks like for me?
Yeah.
You know, if my brain is just in such an overall negative state of being to where that's just like, hey, I'm going to do this. Like that's even a thought. So, and, you know, I feel like especially when someone's newer in the hobby, seeing some of that, like it can kind of get worrisome. You worry, like, you know, create some kind of anxiety of like, all right, what is this community all about? Am I going to get shit on by someone like this? If I make a mistake, like an honest mistake at some point in time, you know, it doesn't help anything. Like it really doesn't help anything or anybody. Obviously, like that podcast we did, calling something out that is genuinely fucked is necessary, but just shitting on someone just for the sake of it, or just to start drama to kind of like fuel that fire inside of you, just, I don't know.
Yeah.
If the people who you're around are carrying themselves like that, it's kind of probably time to do a little bit of an audit of yourself as well.
That's the thing, man. Like, you know, at the end of the day, not everyone's going to tell you to stop behaving the way you're behaving. And some people, man, will just enable it and let you just go down this fucking whole entire path of you making yourself look like an entire asshole. And I did that for a while. I felt like me being MJ and just me wanting to go off was like, yeah, it got attention and people liked it. But then I almost felt like that was fueling my fire. Like that was, instead of me being excited to breed my animals and look at them, instead of that being my fuel, like it was more like going after people, because, you know, I'm good at it. I really am. And so, and the thing is, it's like,
that's true.
but also, like, there are so many examples of why I could go off if you care that much. One thing Forrest used to always laugh at me about is like, MJ, you fucking care so much. Like, he used to laugh. He's like, dude, you remind me of me 10 years ago when I cared about the most stupidest shit. And I'm like, bro, somebody sending an import with no fucking eyeballs, how's that stupid? He's like, yeah, I get it. But it's like, dude, get used to it. Like, this is a part of what we do. You're going to get fucked. And so Forrest was more of the type where he's like, dude, you better get fucking thick skin now and don't take shit personal. Like, Forrest would buy from the same person fucking him over. You know what I mean? And I was just like,
well, that was a problem too.
Like, the thing is, like, Forrest wasn't the only one. There's been people in this hobby who have such a bad rap of fucking people over, but they have the ability to get shit that nobody else can get. And so no matter what goes down, people are going to still give you money. And so, and again, that's why I was like, you know, I mean, I remember hearing about piece of shits left and right after meeting Forrest, because Forrest was so upfront about all these experiences with me, with these people. And then I would go see him, go travel with them. And I'm like, what the fuck? And so, but at the end of the day, I'm just like, dude, like, you know, you just gotta, that's kind of how you work the relationships, I guess, in this hobby. But for me, I'm not built like that, bro.
If you want to, it's definitely not necessary. You know, there's always another way, I feel like. But
yeah,
I guess if your goal is to acquire some animal or some kinds of animals by any means necessary, then that's the main goal, instead of protecting your inner peace and your happiness. So, you know,
like you
gotta know your priorities, you know them. You
gotta admit, Steven, it's pretty difficult to really get blackballed out of this hobby. Like, I'm talking about, like, where you have zero support.
You gotta be, I mean, Samson's still out there
somehow, right?
If he can do it, anyone can do it.
That's what I'm saying, right? And like, you would think like he's the horror of all horror stories, like when it comes to fucking animals. But at the end of the day, I feel like if somebody is that adamant about wanting to get stuff out there, like, they're gonna be able to get their way into some sort of show or something somehow at some point,
inevitably.
But at the end of the day, like, that's changing though. I mean, I will say, because of how much of the new wave of keepers came in who want to do better by the animals, and how we know how you just can't fuck people over nowadays. Like, it's not that easy. No. Like, you got to be prepared to go through shit if you are fucking people over, like the whole Mike Cross shit. Like, dude, I'm hearing some crazy stuff that's happening on the back end with that. But I'm just saying, like, now with social media and with trap talk and other shit, bro, like, you just can't fuck people over. And also, and which I'm happy for, because, you know, at the end of the day, if you want to talk about what pushes people out the most, is that one bad experience where you dropped a lot of money on a reptile finally and you get fucked, you know? And honestly, man, so far, man, being someone who's sold a lot of green tree pythons this year, I'm hearing stories about how there's some shady fucking guys out there in the chondro game. Not a lot. Here's the thing. There's not a lot, but like, the whole just ruining your name by selling one undersized animal or whatever, it's just so not worth it. Like, it's not, because I don't think you could rebuttal from shit like that. Like, if you're known to sell an animal that perished or something happened and you're just not taking care of that person and there's a rap sheet behind it, dude, you're not, good luck.
Yeah.
Because people talk so much. And if, like, dude, I've had that happen to me. So I talk a lot. We all know that. I do it for a living. So I just don't understand. I hope someone out there listening who kind of been fucking people over is like, dude, I'd better stop, because first and foremost, you're a piece of shit for doing that. But also, like, what good are you doing the hobby? Like, why would you want to limit the people in this hobby by fucking them over instead of just wanting to take them in as students or something? Like, I look at all my customers as students, man. Like, because a lot of them are there. Dude, this year, I'm trying to think, there was maybe only 3 chondro breeders that were breeders before I had success that I sold chondros to. The rest, all new guys. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, it's
That's
a lot of
crazy.
new keepers, bro. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, and it's hard. I mean, you can only hold people's hands for so long. And you just, as you know, Steven, selling scrubs and other stuff to people, like there's some hard-headed people out there. Some people want to learn the hard way. They don't always want to listen to what you advise. And there's not much I can do about that, unfortunately. Like, dude, you know, I know patience is key. But like, for instance, like Gary, shout out to Gary Scavino, right? But Gary's the individual where, let's say you buy a $5,000 animal from Gary, right? No, fuck the price. Let's say you buy a $1,000 animal from Gary, and Gary tells you to put it in a 15-quart tub with a hide, a perch, whatever. Okay, then you take that animal in and you put it in a 4x2x2 with a fog machine, fucking goddamn anoles going everywhere, whatever, dude. Whatever you did that wasn't Gary's advice, you did, and then the snake's not eating. Gary's so kind enough to take that snake back. Like, he'll take that snake back, get it eating, and help you figure shit out. I'm not saying I wouldn't be like that, but I'm not going to be as nice. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna, because first and foremost, like, I know I could only go so far with being choosy on who I sell animals to, but if I am going to sell you one of my hard fucking earned green tree pythons, you're going to do what the fuck I tell you to do. Otherwise, you're not getting the snake. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I'm just like, I don't want that guilt on my shoulders of like, God damn it. Like, why is that snake dead? Like, because you just didn't simply do what I told you to do. I'm just trying to eliminate that. That's all. I don't want to live with that. And so, and also too, like, how does it feel to fucking lose an animal like that? Like, it's not easy to deal with. Like, I mean, that took me a long time to have to really deal with the loss of an animal, like, especially a chondro or an emerald. Like, those used to fuck up like my whole month when shit like that would happen. You know what I mean? Because I always looked at it as like, well, there goes fucking $1,200. I would always look at it as like, I lost that money. I'm never getting it back. You know, it's kind of what you think in the beginning because you're spending a lot of money. And so I don't know. I just, at the end of the day, man, it's, you know, you got to learn on your own terms, I guess, because I did. I mean, I got a lot of good advice and still did what I thought I needed to do. I got in the way of a lot of times, which probably took me so long to get success with the chondros because I always stepped in when I should have never stepped in, all because I'm just ADD like that. So I had to learn, dude. And you've been a part of my whole chondro journey, Steven. I remember for the most part. Yeah, it's been rocky. And so anyways, so yeah, I just feel like just I don't know. I just feel like right now in the hobby, there are some people out there working really hard to build a good name, but you also have people out there who just don't give a fuck, and you have to be careful too, because you have people who've been around for a while. And I feel like one of the scary thing is like this Mike Cross situation, dude. This guy had nothing but a good rep before all this. Like I didn't hear any bad things about this guy until all this shit went down. So like, what makes you think someone else who has a good name won't have something crazy happen to their life when they say, you know what? I need $80,000. I'm going ballistic, and then I'm gonna go to fucking Mexico. I'm out. You know, really, like that's and mind you, dude. I think about that all the time. I'm like, but mind you, that's why I don't go looking for out. I'm in such a place I don't need to go buy a snake. I mean, if I do, it's just unnecessary at this point. Like I'm so good right now. But yeah, I don't know. I'm all about trying to look after the new keepers, bro, because it's not everyone could bounce back from a loss, and it really grinds my gears to fucking see grimy people like this Mike Cross guy and a couple other chondro guys that I could think of that just are like, they just don't care. Like, they're like, fuck it, you know, like, fuck these people. Like, it's your word against mine. I hate those kind of people, bro. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, that's the good thing about, you know, podcasts and social media and whatnot is like, man, it's going to get found out one way or another. And if you're a new keeper, you can learn from experiences of people who have fucked up or whatnot, and you know, just eliminate a lot of those steps of the process. Ultimately, at the end of the day, all of us are going to learn some really hard lessons as keepers. But
yeah,
man, if you can learn some of those from other people and not have to make them. And when I was younger, that was most of what I was doing. Like, I would go to shows and I would, you know, hang out and whatnot. My mouth would be closed. I would be just listening.
You never talked back then, bro. You were not a talker.
Yeah, to the point where it was a problem. But I'm like, man, I just want to learn everything that these people like. I don't want to say necessarily regret, but like anybody who I look up to, what would they have done differently? And let's just avoid doing that to begin with.
Yeah.
And I think that was a big reason why I was able to kind of get to where I am at a young age was because I learned some of those lessons the easy way. I learned some very hard lessons as well, though, don't get me wrong. But
yeah. I think the hard lessons are so unavoidable if you want to do this for the long term. Because I feel like, one thing, being tapped into the Green Sheet Python game so thick, you hear people who come in and get clutches their first 2 years and have success. And I'm like, dude, that's great. Like you don't hear a lot of that stuff, but it happens. But then you get to year 4, year 5, and something will happen. Like at some point, you're going to hit some sort of wall where no matter what podcast you listen to, no matter who the fuck your mentor is, you're going to have to figure it out. And that shit's not easy because you are alone in this when it comes down to just being you and your animals at that point in time. And I'm just talking, it could be anything where pairing to fucking getting something to eat, anything, like anything. And that's why, again, like I love that so many people have learned so much that we put out there, but nothing is going to teach you better than your own experience. Like you gotta sometimes just have it in front of you and fucking figure it out. Because I can't tell you how many times, Steven, there's been things I knew what to do, but because of the moment, my mind just goes blank. And I'm just like,
yeah, me too.
And I'm like, what the fuck? And so whatever. But then I'm like, oh shit, okay, get a water bin or whatever. Like there's just moments where you almost forget what you need to do because you're just almost so stuck by it. You're just like
1,000%.
What the fuck? And so, but yeah, you gotta act. You can't wait on it. And you just, I don't know, man. It happens with time. Again, bro, it's kind of like, I'm not trying to put what we do on a pedestal, but
no,
like not everybody could swing a golf club. Not everyone could fucking swing a baseball bat. Like, like Griffey, like not everyone could fucking shoot a basketball. Not everyone could breed, bro. Like this is a sport. And I'm not tripping. Like this is like, you got to have attention to detail. You got to know how to read your fucking animals. You got to know how to feed your animals. You got to know why you need to feed your animals. Like there's so many things that go into a thought process on how to get good with this. And it's not a fucking overnight thing. It's not easy. And you got to really be crazy about it. Like if you're halfway in, halfway out, your results are going to be halfway in, halfway out. You're not going to go 70 for 70, pal. Okay. I'm very proud of that number. That's because, dude, you know how passionate and lit and crazy I've been about this the last 8 years, bro. Like it's been my life, literally my life. So, but again, you got to want it, bro. And as much as you want to help people, you can't teach people passion. Like that's not something you could teach somebody. No. They either got it or they don't. So,
yeah. Well, I feel like that's one of the main things that I have kind of, I don't want to say, I struggle to characterize it as a mistake or not, of like having a super diverse collection and then having years where I was like, man, I'm just so disappointed with how breeding went this year. And then I look around and I'm like, well, I have 60 species.
Okay. So imagine if it was my situation where I'm like, breeding didn't go well this year. I have 2 species. Bro, it's different. Okay. Your attention to detail is spread so fucking thin. And even though you try to concentrate on what's like the priority, either which is the scrubs.
Yeah.
Dude, you have a schedule, Steven, where there's not much time for anything. Okay.
Yeah.
And mind you, we talked about this, your overhead. You like it. You legit, you told me you passionately want this many different species, maybe not 60. I know you said you wanted to, slim down, but like what? Okay, 30? Even 30 is a shit ton, bro. Like this is a lot, Steven. I mean, again.
Well, but I mean, what I was gonna say, like when I think it was probably the last time I was at your place after a lot of the tree monitors were out, and I asked you, I was like, man, how many hours a week does it take to clean your collection? And you're like, I think 5. I think I like went into like a comatose state for like 15 minutes of like, oh my God, how nice would that be?
Yeah. You want to know what it is now? You want to know what it is now?
3?
2.5.
Okay.
Bro, 2.5. Like if I was like, I need to hurry up, water change, spray everything. Okay. Including babies, 2.5, 3 hours, I would say.
That's
everything. Like if mind you, I'm not looking at my phone. It's like just straight go. And I still split that up. But I split that up. I don't ever have to do everything the same day, bro. Everything is like oh, what's on the board today? I get to take my time with the babies, and literally I'll spend 3 hours with my babies.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's, just like, dude. Anyways, I'm not trying to brag. I'm just saying, Steven, you should at some point be proud of what you've done with all the species you've kept. But when is enough is enough? Like, when are you?
I mean, that's kind of what I'm trying to do now. I like last year, I was looking at some of the things that I did wrong with breeding, and I'm like, man, I just had some of these little side projects that like I was never going to put the specialized effort into them that I did into scrubs or tiger rats or whatever it may be. And I'm like, these aren't, none of the stuff are species that I can't get again one day if I wanted to. Why, I'm like, if I'm really trying to do this professionally and I'm not like, I'm frustrated. Like I'm not feeling as happy as I feel like I could be. And I'm worried that getting rid of some of these lower priority species, projects, whatever it may be, are like, I'm going to regret it. I'm like,
no.
I don't want to say I feel like resentment, but like when I'm cleaning them every week, I almost have this thought of like, well, I'm not sure why I still have these. Like, and I've
FOMO,
done like
all because of FOMO.
Just because I've been doing it like that for so long. I mean, shoot, when I first, moved to Indiana and like was working with Forrest, the collection, because my animals and his were in the same space. Like
I remember
the combined collection had, I want to say, around 150 species of between 500 and 600 animals. And
yeah,
that felt like normal to me, or like, wow, this is what I've always wanted to do. And I look back, I'm like, that I like that was the most miserable point of my life.
And okay, and how important was breeding back then? Like how much were you really focusing on breeding that was successful breeding in a collection like that? There was nothing. It was everywhere.
It was hard. Chaos. I mean, like that. Yeah. As I've kind of shrunk down, specialized, I've just produced more stuff. And especially after seeing your green tree year, I'm like, man, like, why the hell can't I do that with scrubs? And from every standpoint of like, it's what I enjoy producing the most. Like when those babies come out of the eggs, like I get more happiness from that than anything else that I'm working with. So I'm like, all right, why shouldn't I double down on that? It's what I'm most known for. And I mean, this year in particular, when I had a pretty poor breeding year, and what I did produce, which was a good thing, was like some of the best stuff in my collection. So I held back almost everything I produced this year. The amount of times I had to like turn down potential sales, people just hitting me up like, hey, do you have any of this, any of this, any of this? I'm like, man, if I had all of that, I would be in a much better financial state than I am currently, because I have people who want these things that, these species that I'm working with, and I'm not able to deliver that this year. And I'm leaving, I'm leaving a lot of money on the table, and, for better or worse, potentially sending those people to other breeders or even importers to get that same snake that they were looking to me for. So
we're talking scrubs though, or are we talking different species?
Primarily scrubs. And then I would say otherwise the tiger rats and some of the pine snakes, I already have like waiting lists for next year that if everyone comes through on the list, like I'll have people go into the next year who I didn't even get to message yet. So I'm like, man, if I'm really known for these few things, what the hell am I doing breeding stuff that I'm not well known for, or like putting a lot of effort into it? Because I don't want to get rid of a project that I really love just because the money isn't necessarily there. But like, instead of having 10 of them, maybe like a pair or two just for something that I enjoy,
Well, dude, I mean, trip out about this. I mean, I've had a dedicated green tree python podcast on this network for at least 2 years now, maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah, a little over.
Even before, maybe longer. But I'm trying to think, like, how many people came to me wanting chondros and I didn't have it because I'm like,
I remember you telling me,
like, MJ, like, do you have any green tree pythons? I'm like, no, I don't. Like, just because I was going through it. But I would just send them to Bill, send them to Socrates. Yeah. I would always send them to like my friends. And so, and mind you too, like, I didn't, like, in my head, I wasn't like, oh man, like I'm missing out. No, dude, I know money or not, I'm breeding green tree pythons because I fucking love green tree pythons. And as much as I'm happy with how much money I made this year with green tree pythons, it was never a priority. Like it wasn't the reason why I was breeding green tree pythons. Do you want to know why I was breeding green tree pythons? It's because our friend back in the day told me not a lot of people are good at this and they give up because it's very heartbreaking. And I remember I was already a fragile individual then. So it was like a challenge. It was like a challenge to myself. And I always tell people, I'm someone, if you tell me I can't do it or it's not going to happen, and if something in me wants to do it, I'm going to do it. Like I'd rather fail myself to be like, yeah, that didn't work versus not do it because you told me not to do it. Like I'm a very like, what is that? What's the term?
Stubborn.
Thanks. I'm stubborn. I guess stubborn. Like if you tell me not to do something, I'm going to do it. Yeah. It's okay. That's stubborn. I was trying to think of a better word, but no, you're right. You nailed it. I guess hard-headed too, because sometimes the people are just looking after me and they're like, yo, but then I'm like, nah, fuck that. But again, I think at that time, I think I already had a good handful of green tree pythons. And when somebody told me that is when I had my first clutch and she scattered them all over the floor. Like she just like, it was quite the experience because I was waiting for a prelay shed. She never gave me a prelay shed. I never saw an ovulation. I just know I paired. I had a couple people telling me, yeah, she looks gravid. She's gravid. Wait for a shed. I keep coming in every morning. And then I finally saw eggs all over the floor. And then I saw, and then I called that friend of ours and told him what was happening. And he's like, she just didn't want those eggs, or I forgot what he told me, but he's like, just prepare yourself. Cause this is why people fucking stop doing green tree pythons. Cause this is like the normal, like outcome. And so, and I was like, nah, but I was so obsessed with them at that point. I was like, nah, man, I got to figure this shit out. And so, but yeah, man, I got in the way of a lot of my own failures, but honestly, I don't regret it either, dude. Like it was my own journey. I made things difficult at times, but at the end of the day, like now I know, like, that term fuck around and find out, like I did a lot of that. And so, and now I found out what I need to find out. And I can't thank enough of our own friends, like Bill and Marshall, Ryan Young, dude. Ryan's, man, if you really want to talk about whose advice I took,
the white horse himself, Ryan Young.
If you really want to know who helped me change everything with how I keep things, Ryan Young. I want to give that guy so much props. And then when it comes to incubating, like the reason why I felt like my incubation's fucking just tits at this point, I got to give it up to Garrick from House of Blues. Because I do exactly what he told me to do. And yeah, dude, I mean, again, you got to sit back and see where things aren't working, and you got to know what you should do about it. I went to my big homies for advice, and yeah, dude, I just adjusted. And I think adjusting is everything. You gotta learn how to adjust, when to adjust. You have to swallow your pride sometimes, because I feel like this, Steven. You do your best to try to keep the animal at the best capability, and when you have someone come in saying, oh, that's not right, or it kind of fucks your ego up a little bit. You're kind of like,
big time. I struggle with that hardcore.
But also it's like, okay, look, who's telling you this, and don't take it like, you want to know who fucking does that to me all the time? Mark Bailey. Shout out to Mark Bailey. But he'll tell me like, oh, something doesn't smell right in here, or he'll like, and I'm like, motherfucker, I know the smell of my own room. But then like when he'll leave, I was like, oh my God, there was a rat in this bin. Like how did I not smell that? Like Mark's just he's that dude, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And honestly, if you want to talk about what helped me realize, like, you don't need all these fucking species, asshole, that was Mark Bailey. Like he would I'll never forget being so happy to show me there's some of the boas or even the scrubs I had. And he loved the scrubs. I got to think out of all this.
You need scrubs again at some point.
Hold on. Let me pause what I was going to say and go back to what I told you. If it wasn't for you, Steven, and the scrubs, my scrubs would have never left. I would have kept them. I told you that. I told you, like, that's how connected I was to the scrub pythons. The scrubs will be back in my life. Once I got all the room I need for them, because I'm not going to do a scrub, no, I want a lot of them. But the thing is, I want to dedicate their own fucking area, their own fucking thing, because that's something I'm missing in my life, bro, were the scrubs. And I'm like, okay, these fucking things that you grew up and everything I sent you, Steven, I raised for the most part. Yeah. So letting these go was hard, but I'm like, it's going to Steven. Like, it's very close, and he's family, and I know I can make that happen because they're that close. And I already know whenever I'm ready to get back into the scrub game, how easy is that? It's just as easy as you getting back to the chondro game.
Yeah.
It's literally one phone call away and I'm back in it. Yeah. So that's why I was able to let go of the scrubs. And I want to say shout out to Carly, because Carly took the Malucans, and I did not want to part ways with those Malucans, but space was a determination factor for me, and so I had no choice. But then again, I would have never gave them to a random. I would have just held on to them, or they would have went to you. They were actually going to go to you. If they didn't go to Carly, they were going to go to you. That was the plan. So and again, that's like, maturity, knowing like, okay, dude, are you really passionate about working with something to where you want to figure out how to keep them space wise, or do you want to let them go and focus on stuff that really is helping you out? And that's what it came down to for me, man. And so, I'm going to revisit the scrubs for sure, but I want people to know I would have never let them go if it wasn't for them going to you. 100%. I would have kept them, because they were that pinnacle to me. Like they were that, like I do miss them. I miss them. I really do.
Yeah. Well, you'll get back there one day. I believe in it.
How's MJ doing? How's baby MJ?
He is down here to my bottom right, and he's a little beast, man. None of the barneck females are really starting to do their thing yet, but I've had him with a couple girls so far, and it's them not being ready. It's not him. He's ready to go. So he ended up being one of the nicer ones too, which is crazy. Yeah, no, he's great. He's really awesome, and he looks very unique compared to the rest of the clutch too, which is really cool. So, but I want to kind of, were you gonna say something?
No, I was gonna say, man, the scrubs are just so you, Steven. I hope you never lose focus of like where you're at with scrubs as far as like front of the line. Like you're just, it is crazy to me to think how front of the line you are with the scrubs you have, and you have all 59 other species. I'm down to 40 now. Okay, good. But still, I'm just like, bro, scrub to me, like if I was in your position with scrubs, I would probably only have scrubs. Personally, maybe. I don't know.
Dude, it crosses my mind. But I kind of look at my collection the same way that, like, I honestly, I looked at what you were doing, and I'm like, all right, I can model it the same way. The scrubs for me are the chondros for you. The tiger rats, the spilotes, are like your emeralds.
Mm-hmm.
And then my pits, my pines, bulls, gophers are like the ball pythons for you. That's like, those are the animals I breed. They're like, well, I mean, not comparable to ball pythons all the time, but like they're entry level price point. You can give them to a beginner keeper. I still really love working with them. And then the spilotes, like I've never had more demand for a species that I've produced. Like it's crazy. And they
scare me, man. That's one. No, I'm sorry. What are the ones with the crazy eyeballs? Like it's black and it has a puffy throat and it has some fucking like bulging eyeballs. What was that one?
Not the.
It's a colubrid. Remember the first time I ever saw it was in Indianapolis, and they were black. They're out there. It's a popular colubrid. Maybe I thought it was spilotes. I thought
probably. I know it probably was, especially if you saw it there. I mean, I was
my colubrid knowledge isn't top tier. It's very mid or below. So I'm sorry.
But like, I mean, people want them. I mean, other than Jason Hood, like the two of us are probably the only people in the country producing them. And now, I mean, I only did it 1 year, so like, I'm like, they're my favorite colubrids. Like, I'm not going to stop working with them, but they're like the more specialized, like the emeralds, where you probably wouldn't put an emerald in a hand of a brand new keeper, but there are plenty of experienced keepers who can handle an emerald tree boa. That's not really a problem. Yeah. I guess the only thing that I really have right now and I have been working on downsizing. It's been a pain in the ass, but the venomous collection. I love the snakes, man, but like I just never was super stoked about being a huge part of like the community, and I've been screwed over by a handful of people in the venomous world. I'm just like, man,
fortunate.
I love the snakes. I love making my setups. Like my room with my rattlesnakes is like a little zoo hall. But I'm like, if that can be like, right now I'm trying to get it like down to one room, like one bedroom. That's where all the venomous are. And I'm not holding stuff back really. Like I have my collection, and just like let it be an easy, like fun project, wholesale babies, whatever,
babies, but okay, dude, does a hobby really need more venomous wholesale babies, Steven?
Well, wholesale is the people who are going to retail them like the right way. Certain species, yes. Honestly, like a lot of what I have people in Europe who are like, when you have a litter, I'll buy your litter. I'm like, that's what I'm not producing Western Diamondbacks and monocle cobras and shit like that. Like, I'm breeding stuff that's in demand within the right markets. But
would you agree? Would you agree though? Okay, if this is why none of you better hope this, but if I were somehow in charge of making the laws, and if I said you can no longer fucking breed venomous or keep venomous unless it's like of course it's heavily permitted and stuff like that, if that was literally enforced, and let's say 20 years down this was enforced, that'd be one less thing we all had to be worried about. I can tell you that right now, because it just
there's an argument to be made.
And it's even like even with big mainland retics, and I love retics, bro. You know how I feel about them, but those things could do so much damage, bro. Like they could fuck shit up. And so, and again, like this is just me like wondering like what could really fuck this hobby is more news articles about motherfuckers dying because of these animals. Like it's just like how it's no good for a pit bull attack on a human's good for the dog world. Like it's terrible, and that's why I love pit bulls. But they have such a bad name, man. They're not even there. You can't even have them in some HOAs. Like, and so it's like that's where we headed at with the reptile world. Like that shit. It's I don't know. And again, that venomous world's a different world, man. You got some fucking cuckoos out there, man.
I mean, there are some great people who would do it, but then at the same time, like the bad of the venomous world is like, oh my god, it's like shocking. It's so.
No, what makes me want to be a part of the venomous world is being friends with people like Kyle Vargas. Okay, if I was friends with people like Kyle, I'll own a venomous at some point because how badass that dude is. And man, I don't think there's nobody in the game like that guy, dude. I want to say shout out to Alexander England because he's a fucking G too. Like these guys are so just like quiet behind the scenes, so knowledgeable. Like they don't want to be seen almost, but they just are so fucking G at what they do. That's just not the common thing in the venomous world. It's all about putting yourself out there and that's the whole, like, I guess the code of the venomous world was low key. Like you do it.
And it still is in a lot of ways. Like a lot of the people who are really serious about it, like people like Kyle and Alex, like you just said. Patrick's a little bit more out forward facing with his venom, but not from like he doesn't like sell a lot of venomous publicly. That's kind of that's the involvement I want to have, is like really enjoy the animals, stay out of the drama, and not be over consumed by it. But it's a totally different beast altogether. I mean, it's an entirely different community than the rest of the reptile world.
But it does have some good ass people part of it too. It's kind of like
exactly. It's not all bad.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say like I wish I could erase the entire venomous community because I wouldn't want that. Trust me, like I know some badass motherfuckers like the people we mentioned who are like they at least the venomous community has people like that. You know what I mean? But the thing is, it's like, man, you get the egos just get in the way, and so. But that's the egos. The egos are part of everything we do in life, man. Even me, like I got to check my ego sometimes. But then again, like I felt like I had so many people rooting against me, where it's like I'm allowed to let this ego beast out sometimes, But also, it's kind of like enough is enough. I'm just so happy where I'm at with things and where things are headed. I'm more excited for next year, because I'm so happy, hitting 70 for 70, but 71 for 71, bro. That's it. That's my next goal, bro. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to keep going. I want to get better. That's all I want to do is get better. I'm not at the point where I'm like fucking sitting on a goddamn throne and like I could hang my coat now. Like, no, dude, like we're just getting started here. So I want 10 years of this shit minimum of back-to-back success,
Yeah. Well, let's start getting into it. So
sure.
I feel like a lot of people know your story and have been following you for a while, but inevitably some people don't. They see this incredible breeding season you had and probably don't fully understand all of the heartbreak that came before that. So this year, 2025, what year was this of you for chondro breeding? Was it year 5?
So 2017, I'm sorry, 2018, I got my, 2018 is when I first bred chondros. Like
damn, I didn't realize it was that early.
Yeah. Yes. And that's when I got that first clutch. Remember El Chapo? You remember that name, El Chapo?
I remember.
Okay, so El Chapo was my very first hatchling to go the distance from that clutch that eventually died after me being in the hospital, long story short. But anyways, 2018, I got my very first chondro clutch. And then I didn't get another one until 2 years after that, which was from Mimi. I got Mimi to go. I think I got 2 clutches that year. And then another year after that, I got like a clutch. And then the year after that was like, so from that point on, basically it was either a clutch or 2 each year. Yeah, it was always the same story with me. There was maybe 1 or 2 incidents where I was getting slugged out clutches, but for the most part, I was getting really good eggs, 15, 16 eggs. And they would sometimes, for the most part, go the distance and then be fully termed dead in the egg, like fully developed, like scratching your head, like, why, how did you not come out? You know, like you're fully formed. Like, how do you go this far just to die? Yeah. And that kept happening to me. And so, you know, going back, I just realized, like, one thing I remember the very first time was moving that wasn't even the first time. I can't even tell you what I did the first time. I really can't. I just remember the second time I incubated a clutch, Socrates helped me, and he helped me after the fact, because I got the clutch, put it in the incubator, and then I asked him, I was like, where do you like to put the probe? Like inside the incubator. And he's like, I just like to leave it out. Like, he told me, he's like, I just like to leave it out, like in the incubator ambient section, like, you know. And I had it in the actual egg box. And so when he told me that, I took it out, and this was like already on day, must have been like day 20 or something like that. And so I took them out, and then literally the next day they all started dying one by one. And I was like, oh my God, what the fuck did I do? And I told Socrates, he's like, why the fuck would you take the probe out? Like, because mind you, just by doing that, it throws everything off. Like, now the heat's completely different. And so he was like, no, MJ, like, I didn't, you know, I didn't know you already had it in the egg box. I would have told you to left it in there. And I was like, oh fuck. And so, like, I took it really hard then. I remember I got like 2 to hatch, and then they ended up prolapsing and dying. And so that's okay. So, and that's another thing. So if I was getting them to hatch, like, I remember up to this year, or up to like last year. So last year is when I had my very first full term successful clutch. I had 2 clutches last year, but they weren't both full, like, good. But anyway, so leading to that, anytime I did get a snake to come out of the egg, I would get it to eat, and it would prolapse and die. Prolapses was the common thing for me. Like, and that was another thing. Like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, what do I need to do? And it was like, okay, put them over water. Did that. Still got prolapses. Spray them every day. Did that. Still got prolapses. Feed them smaller meals. Did that. Still prolapse. Feed them bigger meals. Did that. Still prolapse. Everything was prolapse. And that's another fucking, I was getting sick of it, dude. Cause I'm like, you know, those suck, bro. Like, seeing those are just like, you know, it's like, what's like, you know, especially when you're already thinking about down the road of how it's going to look maybe. And you know, how excited you are to fucking get this thing going. And then you see that, it really, really fucking throws a wrench into the whole excitement. And I've had that happen a lot. But it came down to just me kind of figuring out, like, what aren't I doing in this room that I can help with just basic husbandry stuff. Like, I had a lot of stuck sheds. Like, even though I was spraying everything, I still had a lot of stuck sheds. And so I was like, why is that the case? And then I would realize, the humidity ambient in my room on an average is 30%. That's fucking dry. That's really dry. And so no matter how much you work in the tubs in the enclosure, if your ambient humidity is dry as tits, your shit's going to dry out. And then also too, what wasn't helping was heat, right? If you're blasting heat, that's going to suck and kill all the humidity as well. So 2 biggest factors for me, my humidity, right? My humidity was fucking so bad, on top of overusing my heat panels. Cause I thought I was using the heat panels accordingly, but I was not. And 2 years ago was when I had I had 3 girls slug out on me. Remember I told you, I was like, dude, I had back to back slug outs. Yeah. And it all came down to fucking, because the males were getting cooked. And basically the sperm were just not viable because it was getting toasted. And it had something to do with the heat, but also humidity, everything else. And so once I figured out what to do to get my humidity up in my room, which, looking at it right now, 70%, stays at 70. I'm very happy. Like, it's a consistent 70%. I think even with my doors open now, if I have my doors open, it can't be all day, but if I have my doors open, if I'm working, it doesn't drop lower than 60%. And I fucking love it.
Wow.
Yeah. And so once I fucking did that and I eliminated the amount of heat panel usage, basically cut them off. I don't mean those heat panels right now are set to 80. This room, which is 79.5% or 79.5 degrees, it's going to go up to about 82 by like noon, and it's 10 a.m. right now. So this room naturally gets about 82, 83 on its own. And I just let that be. I don't supplement any more heat other than making sure it's at least 80 in there during the daytime, which my room never gets lower than 80 if it's peak daytime heat.
Okay.
And by doing that, dude, holy shit. Like we talk about, we're seeing a lot more activity with the snake. Like it's not just sitting in one place all the time. It's moving, going everywhere. I don't deal with stuck sheds anymore. Yeah, I'll have a random one, like mainly emeralds. Like I got a male emerald who fucking, no matter what I do for him, he'll just every now and again, he'll give me a bullshit shed. And it is what it is. But
yeah,
dude, the ball pythons, I don't fucking worry about them, their stuck sheds anymore. And I don't even spray ball pythons anymore. Man, I used to spend so much time spraying ball pythons, bro. Just because I hated to use I hated to soak. Like I just hated stuck sheds and I hated soaking. Such a process to fill the tub and do all that, right? And so so I sprayed all the time. But you got to think like that much water, like just not sanitary wise, this is not good. Like it's just, if you could somehow up humidity where like maybe spraying only happens when it's in shed or whatever, perfect. And that's the only time I really step in to spray something is when it's in shed. Except the emeralds. I feel like the emeralds, man, like they love it. I feel like Coach Rice, bro. God damn it. I love that guy. But I'm going to spray to the day I die. Okay. I'm spraying to the day I fucking die. And I could like, yeah, you're never changing me. Even though he opened my mind big time to like understanding humidity as well. Like it did trip me out that Chris never sprays, but got perfect sheds. I'm like, how, and he just, his humidity is locked in, and I think even now, like his humidity is never lower than 50%. Like it's 50 and above. And so, there's factors of how to give things better husbandry out there. And I feel like that's one thing I took serious over the last 2 years, which led to me having such success, was getting these animals to be happy. Happy animals breed good. So what it comes down to.
So what are you doing specifically for the humidity in your room? Are you just running humidifiers, or what do you do to change that ambient from 30 to 70?
Yeah. So in the past, I've attempted to do things about my humidity and I just haven't had good luck. Like I always had humidifiers that like put air particles and like, it just wasn't a good experience. I even had one where I would come in and there was droplets on my walls and I'm like, what the fuck? This isn't good. And so I just never was like, I'm not going to do this because this doesn't seem like it's the right way. But then shout out to John Irby. But John Irby came on Trap Talk about a year ago, I think, maybe a little bit longer. Okay. And he told me he uses the air care systems, the air care humidifiers. And I guess they have the way these things work, they have a filter where like, they don't put any air particles in the air.
Okay. It's evaporative humidifier.
Yeah, right.
That's what I use now too.
Yeah, dude. So I got one of those bad boys.
I love it,
dude. Game changer. I loved it so much where I was like, man, like I could probably use this less if I have two of them. And so I got two of them. And now two of them, I'm like, I put them on the lowest speed and my room stays like where it needs to stay. And I'm not filling these things up until like 2 days later. And it's a quick fill up, like I use filtered water. There's this antibacterial like liquid solution that you could put in that actually makes your room smell pretty good. It just it kills any kind of like weird funky smell or odor that the humidifier could potentially put out if it is dirty. Okay. But it also kills any bacteria too. Like if you notice some humidifiers out there will collect a bunch of gunk, like it'll collect a bunch of gunk and it's nasty. If you put this antibacterial stuff in there, it doesn't happen.
Send me a link to that after the show. I'm curious.
Yeah, and also it also makes you think like, damn, like it probably is going to help the air quality in the room because all that gunk that does get through, it's going into the room. So it's kind of like, oh shit.
My mini split filter at the worst was getting clogged up like every 10 days with just that sediment white particle shit that would get all over the filters. And I would be like at the gym or something, I would get a notification on my phone that the room was over the limit. It's like 88 degrees in there. I'm like, God damn, it happened again. Like, it just gets so clogged up by, I was worried that it was drywall dust for a little bit, but I was like, no, I looked, did some research. I'm like, no, this is my humidifier. And I learned about the evaporative humidifier. I got one, and just immediately the cages were covered in white dust. And I'm like, this can't be good for the snakes. This is in their lungs too. Like, I felt shitty, but I'm like, man, what's worse? Like, at least before I found out about the evaporative humidifier, what's worse, having kind of like a poor air quality or having like 10% humidity in the room?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, either or are bad,
yeah.
Just because, like, dude, I'm realizing, like, even though the animals seem okay, poor humidity really does a toll on these animals, man.
Big time.
And especially when it comes to, like, again, keeping them, you might not really see an issue with it, but when it comes to breeding, you're going to see some things not go the right way, all because something's off with your husbandry. Yeah. And that was me, man. Maybe call me a lazy keeper. I don't know what it was, but there were just some things I just didn't really care to fix because I didn't see an issue with it until breeding shit happened. I lost that female that went egg bound. And she had a bunch of shit fucking packed into her. Like, she had old shit stuck in her. And I've never seen that. Like, for the most part, anytime a chondro lays a clutch, they're cleared out. Like, they might have a little bit of urates. Like, I remember saw one time I saw maybe a little tiny, bowel movement, but it's not a lot. Like, they're cleared out for the most part. And this snake could not pass her eggs because there was a huge dried up fucking shit, urates all in the way that I had to squeeze out of her. And it was fucking terrible, man. And again, that's kind of going back to like I was spraying that female a lot. Like, I was. But then again, I realized that was when I had my panel issue. Like, the panel was really high and she never left the panel. So she was just probably just drying out as soon as I was spraying her.
Yeah.
One of the things I definitely want to give props about, I felt like that helped me a lot this year with my females laying successfully and bouncing back, is soaking your females, man. Shout out to Bill Stiegel. Bill's a big soaker advocator. He always talks about he soaks his female twice after pre-lay shed, and then soaks a good 24 hours after they shed or after they lay. And so that's exactly what I did. So basically, what I do is I soak them probably about 2 days before they shed. Okay. And then I'll soak them a week after they shed, which is kind of close to their due date because they typically lay about 14, 15 days right after their shed. But dude, they drink, bro. They drink. I don't put them in there for long. It's like maybe a 15, 20 minute soak.
Okay.
But that hydration is so important, bro. Cause I'll tell you right now, based off what I'm observing, once those females are in that point where they're getting ready to lay, they do not go seek water for the most part. They're not, they're ready to lay, and something in their mind tells them they just got to worry about laying. They don't worry about drinking. The thing is, they'll drink if their water's on them. Like, if you spray them, they'll drink. You know what I mean? But I feel like being some sort of an assistant, helping them hydrate before they lay is super crucial, dude. Because again, coming off that fucking experience was not easy. Like, going from that egg bound situation, that female died in my hands. It sucked. Like, that was my Vinsky Blue Line girl. Was not easy to deal with. But again, I just was like, what can I do differently? And all I could think about was, like, she was not properly hydrated. Like, that was a dehydrated, even though she didn't even look dehydrated. She looked fine. But again, if she has shit stuck in her, hello, something's wrong. Like, she should not have backed up shit in her at all. Yeah. And then all I could think about is, like, every time I soak these females, bro, they somehow shit or something comes out of them. Like that. And so I'm like, damn it. Like, if I would have soaked, I'm pretty sure she would have passed this. Like, if I would have at least done something about it a lot earlier, sooner, that shit wouldn't have been so compact and hard, And again, there's a reason why emeralds are notorious for holding on their shits until you let them out and you put them on the ground. And some of these snakes, again, if you're not, I'm not trying to say everyone's husbandry is wrong if you have to do this, but I have to do this from time to time. I'll see an emerald and I'm like, damn, you haven't shit in a while. Like, I'm going to take you out. And as soon as I take their perch out and they go on the ground, they shit. So it's like, there's just times where you got to step in. And if you don't step in, just, be ready. It's not going to be fun. But Yeah, I think the hydration, man. You know, obviously, what leads to good humidity is hydration. Humidity, they're hydrated with good humidity. Something you don't have to worry about is it being a factor is when you have high humidity, they're more likely hydrated already. And so with this female that had the issue with that was all backed up. That was even before my humidity got addressed. Like this was happening when I had poor humidity and my panels were being overused. So once that went down, I was like, enough is enough. I'm like, I'm soaking now, or I got to figure something out. And that's what I did. I actually figured something out going into all the clutches I got the rest of the year, which I got 6 clutches this year. So yeah, and every female bounced back perfectly. Nice. I could breed every girl again this year if I want. I'm not. I'm probably gonna give at least 3 girls off. But some other girls look like they never even laid. They look fucking just fantastic. So wow. Yeah, man. Husbandry, adjusting. That was it. That was it for me. At least I could think, you know, none of this is for sure. This is all anecdotal, as Bill Stiegel will say. But yeah, it was quite the change, man. Like from what I can see with my animals, the way they're shitting, the way they're shedding, the way they're breeding, they're happy.
Yeah, that's great. So was there anything else that you switched up, be it the way that you were feeding, the way that you were pairing? What else do you attribute anything else to your increase in success?
I didn't change anything else. I feel like I always got the food cycling thing down. Like that was something that I already knew that was an important thing. And I think that really helped me with the emeralds, you know, because I had that emerald litter last year that wasn't as good as this year, obviously.
Right.
But I saw what that whole food cycling thing does for the like, you know, again, you could only I'm not trying to say you can't really notice it with ball pythons because it's more just machine feeding. But yeah, with emeralds, man, there's just a certain time where you hit them with a certain size meal and then boom, it happens. But leading up to that, like giving them enough smaller meals and all that stuff really, really is a huge factor. And so I always knew, like, yeah, there's a time where the chondros aren't eating and there's a time they are going to be eating. And so I didn't change none of that. I feel like I'm always sticking to where right now we're approaching fasting. So there's going to be no feeding for December all the way up to about the end of January. So first week of February, I'll introduce food again.
Okay. And
then about a week later or so, I'll introduce males.
Okay.
And that's one thing last year I was pairing in November. Like a year ago, I had everything paired up because I was just trying to figure out, like, you know, because you got people like Garrick, you got other people in my area who are breeding right now and they have success. And I've never really gotten good results pairing September through December. Like, right. Yeah, I might get 1 to go, but I'm not getting 7 to go. Like I always get it's like a weird one-off situation of who's going. So instead of even just wasting the male's time, or even like, you know, going too early, I'm just chilling out. Like I'm not in a rush to get everything paired up as I normally am. Cause normally I'm like, oh my God, it's October. We got my first fucking, you know, cold night. I'm breeding, you know, like I know there's a time and place demographically for all that stuff. Yeah. But you know, you're in San Antonio San Antonio, right? No, San Jose. El Paso. Okay. San Jose. You're in El Paso. So yeah, you're not in SoCal, bro. Like my weather is like still tropical here. Like we're getting cold nights, but the days are now getting cold. We'll still get an 88, 87 day out of nowhere. But I know once January hits, bro, it's cold. Like it's 60s. You know what I mean? So, and again, that's where I see most of the shit go down. That's where I see all the locks go down for me is that February, once mid-February, all the way up to June is where I see shit go down.
Okay. So then during that time when you are pairing them up, how frequently are you feeding your females?
Every 10 days. Every 10 days to a week. Like sometimes every 7 to 10 days. Honestly, it just depends on the size of meal. Like I had a couple last year where I was doing the mice thing. And so I was giving them mice like every 7 days. Like I just kind of like almost not even paying like I mean, there might even been a time where I gave a back-to-back mice, like just because they were that small and I was just testing it out and they just wanted to fucking eat. And so, but then if I gave one like a wean rat, that was like once every 10 days. Like if it was a smaller rat, it was like every 10-day thing. But if it was a mouse, it was an every 7-day thing. Okay. I think this year I'm just gonna stick to wean rats. I don't think I'm gonna worry about mice this year.
And why is that?
Just because like less is more. Like I hate the whole like, oh my god, let me feed you every 3-5 days. Like if it's gonna work with just one every 10 days, and I don't think it takes that much. Like I don't think it's like that much of a huge like, oh, I gotta feed them this frequent. Like they just need to know something's happening. Like it's and again, I think shout out to David Brahms. I had David Brahms on last night.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, he's like, I think it gets to the point where these females become so seasoned where food cycle or not, they're gonna go. They don't give a fuck. Like if they got the amount of food in them, no matter if you're feeding them less or more, they're gonna go at that point because they're seasoned. Like if they're getting the locks, they're paired up, the females just go. But I feel like first time females need that trigger. Like a lot of females have never been paired before. You have to let them know there's a certain time of year where it's time to go. All right. Especially if you're getting pounded. So we got to figure this out. And so, I what were we talking about again? What was it?
The frequency of meals and why rats over mice.
Yeah. So I don't know. And I could change that. I could, something in me could be like, I'm going to switch to mice. I don't know, bro. Like, I'm not trying to stick to one thing. Like if something doesn't feel right or whatever, I'll go to mice. I don't know. I'm not one directional. Like at this point, and then also ASFs, man, shout out to ASFs. I fucking love ASFs. I think ASFs are the ultimate prey item for a chondro. I don't think there's anything better. Based off bowel movements, based off body condition, the way they grow off of it. All my baby chondros have been established off of ASFs, minus maybe like 7 pain in the asses that were like late starters. They're on ASFs now. So, but everything that I'm raising up, everything that actually sold have been on ASFs, dude. And the very first ASF, most of them had completely fur all over it. It was like a pink ASF, completely covered in fur. And I'm like, that has to be way better than a fucking just a pink, a mouse pink, Yeah. Okay. So I know there's a question in there that somebody asked me about prolapses, and man, the whole prolapse thing is such a fucking crazy topic because you think you're finally onto something where you're like, yeah, I'm not going to get no more prolapses. And bro, I went a long time without getting any prolapses. Alex Warren, he was like, dude, MJ, you're going to get one. I'm like, no, fuck that. At this point, I would have had one. But eventually they did come. So I ended up getting one randomly. Like I got my first prolapse this year from a snake that had like 8 meals in it, had already had its second shed, looked great, came in, prolapse. And I'm like, oh my God. And so did my thing and I learned from this because it instantly went in to go put it back in on its, to help put it back in. And it wouldn't stay in. And I don't know if it was something I damaged. I don't know, man. Like nobody's really knowing how to put these prolapses back in. Yeah, we look at videos and stuff, but nobody really knows the way where we're not damaging them. You know what I mean? So this prolapse, which I've never had a prolapse not stay in, like this prolapse just wouldn't stay in. It would go in, I'd put my thumb over it, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and it would just pop out. I even had to put a Band-Aid over it, and it would still pop out. So I chalked up this specific prolapse where like you're just not meant to be on earth. Like I think there's something eternally wrong with you.
Yeah,
something might have happened. I don't know, but and I put it down because I was like, it's not staying in. And that was my first one. And so I was like, oh shit, I was kind of on edge.
Yeah.
And then the next one to prolapse, well, actually I would say the next 2 to prolapse was where I went to the Dodger game. I went to the World Series Dodger game. And that whole day was like a chaotic day, and it was a kind of a spur of the moment thing. I forgot to refill my humidifier, so my room was really dry.
Mm-hmm.
I was gone basically for almost a whole 20 hours, dude. And of course, and they were all just fed too. So I came home to 2 that were prolapsed, and I was like, and instantly, dude, the paper towel was drier than fucking the Mojave Desert. Like I was like, dude, I didn't want to chalk up that prolapse to like a feeding thing because I felt like it was my room dried out. And the good thing about those prolapses is once I took them off the perch, they went in on their own, the prolapse. I didn't have to do anything. Yeah. That's so good. and that made me feel good about that. And so the good happy story about those 2, they're still here and they're fine. Their prolapses went in on their own. I gave them a 2-week break with no meals, with no perch, and I finally gave them a meal a week ago, and they both have bowel movements. One just shed with the bowel movement. Prolapse is not out. I gave them back their perch, which that's going to be the true test. I think like the next few meals we're kind of like, it's like a restart over again. It's like, oh man, because I've had prolapses be fine for the next 2 meals, and the third one it came out again. So
yeah,
it's honestly an unsettling thing. I feel like prolapses is never something you could just set it and forget it. Like I think, and that's why I don't think I would ever. I know I would never sell a prolapse. I wouldn't. Just because I'm like, dude, like I don't know. I just you know the outcome.
right.
And so, yeah, I don't know, man. It's such a weird thing. I know that there are cases where you could get real lucky and not have any prolapses, but man, I had 70 of them, and out of the 70 of them, 3 prolapse. And again, I think only one of those were really meant to prolapse. The other 2, I think, were on me. I think that was in my room. So yeah, and I'll chalk it up, dude. 1 prolapse out of 70 when I had 9 out of 15 prolapse on me once. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One clutch. So that was also really heavy on my shoulders going into this year. Is like, okay, cool. Like, let's say you get all these babies. How are you going to handle all these prolapses? Like, are you really willing to go through all that? Like, that was sitting in my head. It's like, dude, MJ, like, you've been down this road before. Like, you get the babies out, but there's prolapses. Like, how are we going to stop these? And so I just was on top of my shit with the humidity. I want to also say what probably helped me this year, dude, besides feeding them ASFs, filtered water, bro.
Yeah.
One thing my dumbass did, and I'm the only one who call myself a dumbass, by the way. All right. Just, I want that the record be out there real quick. But one of the things shut up, Steven. One of the things that I've been doing, like last year, I told myself, do filtered water, which I did, but I was spraying them with tap water. So I was seeing how some of these were like, okay, so let's kind of go to last year's clutches, right? I had that 1 egg out of 18 eggs make it. Remember, Mimi laid a clutch, 17 slugs, 1 good egg.
Yeah.
That's Fish.
Yeah.
Fish is a legendary pure biac. I know I probably coattail this a lot. I have probably the nicest pure biac being raised in the hobby right now. Fish.
No, it's ridiculous.
It is what it is. I got bets out there on how much green Fish is going to turn. Not a lot. I'm betting a lot of money on it right now. Just so you guys know.
I know biacs, and there's not any green on that biac. None will be there.
Now, dude. But hold on, where were we going at? Oh yeah. So basically, I had that, and then the next clutch after that, which was from the Numford Houdini. She gave me 15 good eggs, and all 15 went the distance. And so when I had that results, that's when I was like, dude, I'm not fucking around. Filtered water. And again, like I ended up having, I think, like 4 of those prolapse out of the 15. But then I also noticed, like, man, their urates didn't look right. Like, and it looked like black urates, like from bad water. Like I've seen pictures. I've seen people send me pictures of like, MJ, why does my urates look like this? And it has to come down to the water quality. Like if it's not a white pearly looking urate, there's something up with the water. And so with that being said, I noticed ever since I fixed the water quality, named after Marshall's band, going to be solid green. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you, Ryan. What the fuck? Hey, Ryan, let's bet one of your pure monocories, red monocories on that. All right, fucker, dude. What a guy. I love you, Ryan. But dude, one thing I noticed with the water quality, bro, you get these white urates, you get these nice, clean looking shits. Again, with the ASFs, bro, I get these ropey, perfect looking form shits, which is so much better than a smeared fucking diaper rash goddamn shit that you could get with some of these chondros, which just can't be good for their gut system. Like, you gotta understand, if you're getting nothing but smeared bowel movements that are all like liquefied and they're not formed, that has to tell you something, man. There's something up with that prey item. Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Ryan. Appreciate that. I think Ryan is somebody who could call me a dumbass, and I would be like, well played. So, but also it goes both ways, street pal. All right, I got topics on you too, so don't take me there.
Thrifty Scotsman over there.
Yeah, fucking goddamn the super ham. Oh man, I need to get you. We got to go. I'm literally I want to see his collection, obviously, but nothing is more important than getting a super ham. Dude, my legs tightening up right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm honestly like, I hope it's good, but man, if it's kind of trash, that'd be so disappointing. Like, man, I've trekked out to the middle of nowhere for a mid super ham.
It has to be heavy on it. You know what I mean? I'm for sure gonna need a nap or some shit afterwards.
I mean, you'll have a lot of time in the car driving back out to Ryan's place, the 1.5 hour drive back home from the Thrifty Scotsman. So
yeah, but if Ryan's telling stories or something, I'm not sleeping. I'm listening.
That is true.
Yeah,
bumping White Horse the entire way back.
No, man, but water quality, bro. I really think like looking at last year, how I was still using tap water to spray, and some of these chondros weren't shitting right. And then this year, I didn't see any of those urates. I didn't see any of those grainy, sandy, gray, black, fucking off-colored urates. I didn't see none of that this year, dude. So yeah, water quality, bro. Water quality, I think, helped me a lot too.
Okay, you mentioned earlier that you went, hooked up with Garrick on figuring out the incubation. What did you change? And because, man, I mean, that 100% hatch rate, my overall scrub hatch rate is less than 50. So like I want to figure out what the fuck to do. I when Ryan was here, he, like he did with you, like put me on game with a lot of stuff that I'm like, oh man, if he is right, then, which I don't doubt at all, I'm like, this could actually finally be the year that stuff goes right for me. And I've been annoying the shit out of him so far with, like, 2 degrees here, there, pairing on this. I'm like, he's probably sees my message come through and he's like, God damn it. But
this kid again.
What did you switch up with your incubation this go around?
So, I mean, I've done it. I don't want to say I've done a bunch of different things. I've always used sim containers for the most part. I mean, there's been times where I never had any holes, just like completely just whatever, just put the lid on top over water. I was, for the most part, I was very over water. Like that was like my substrate, but I wasn't getting the best results. I was still getting a lot of full term dead in the eggs over water. Okay. So it wasn't until I finally went to Brian Susan's house and he showed me how he does his tree monitors. And his tree monitor eggs go into this big Tupperware, like circular Tupperware, almost like a salad bowl with a lid. Yeah. And it's fucking filled with perlite. Like I'm talking like a salad bowl like this big, and it's like this much filled with perlite. And there's like the light diffusers on top, and then he puts the eggs on top. But it's heavily perlite substrate. And so I was like, I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna put perlite at the very bottom of the sim container. I'm going to soak it and then put like maybe a dry layer on top. And then I'm just going to put the plastic crates right over it. And so I did that, tested it out on some govies just to make sure that it was going to be 100% humidity or 99.9% humidity. And it was. So I was like, all right, I feel confident about this. But then also what Garrick told me is, and I could be wrong about this because I can't remember if he does holes or not, but I have holes that are drilled on the side and at the end of the tubs, but they're not all exposed. They're all taped off for the most part. I want to say it's like 4 on one side, 4 on the other side, long ways, and then like 2 and 2 on the ends, right? Okay. But I do leave the ends at least have one hole open. So I left one tiny hole open on each end for the whole entire course of the incubation. And I cooked it at, so my incubator temperature, which I think is different from Garrick, but I did this learning from Gary, 87.2 is what I set it to. Okay. So, and if honestly, dude, like, yeah, you're going to have times where it goes to 87.2 to 87.1 and it's not a big fucking deal. Like they used to freak me out. Like, oh my God, like what? But it just adjusts.
You can make it work within like a 3-degree window.
Yes. And Gary also told me, like, MJ, don't fucking worry. Cause I would panic to him, like, why does it say this? And it was saying, he's like, MJ, you're fine. Like, just don't worry about it. So that was my go-to number as far as what I like to cook for 40 days, 87.2, 87.1. And then at day 40, I go straight down to 85. So at day 40, I would go down to 85 and I open up all the air holes. I was doing it like opening up the air holes little by little as the days were going by. But now once day 40 hits, all air holes are open. Okay. And that temp drops down to 85. Okay. And I did that with every clutch, and every clutch pipped on day 53. And every single fucking snake came out of the egg and perched. They all didn't make it. Like I think I had ended up having like 3 end up rolling like a day or so after coming out, you know, after like literally them perching and me giving them a number. They die, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they still came out, you know. So, and also these are all living things. Like I wasn't thinking to myself, oh yeah, like these are all like, we all know how this game works, dude. Like, you know, getting up the egg is one thing, and then it's all about how they eat. And so I already know, like, you know, the whole celebration thing with chondros does not happen till like ever. like even now, like I'm still not safe. Like I'm still, you know, I got to make sure my humidity is still good. You know, I don't, you know, I can't fuck around right now, you know? So yeah, I kind of keep myself on my toes by thinking that way, but you know, yeah, I would say, yeah. What was I? My mind's going left now.
You said you just had a couple of them that weren't
viable
after they hatched.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, the ones as far as that made it. So yeah, out of the 70, and with the ones that when the ones that prolapsed, so I had one that prolapsed and didn't make it. So 64, I think, is what I ended up with out of 70, as far as like that's alive on Earth right now.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. So I mean, again, very, very happy, dude. And I think one of the best things is putting some of this stuff in people's collections, like especially people who've been following me for a while. I see a couple people in the chats, and like that was awesome, man. Like, because I like, man, like I wanted to give these people snakes 5 years ago. I just wasn't ready or there yet. And the fact that they stuck around and are here now, and it's like, oh man, it's a good feeling, dude. It really is. But
100%.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So at this point, I mean, now that I don't want to say you've got it figured out, because none of us ever do, but now that you have this much better idea about what you're doing, do you have a long-term kind of outlook of this is how many clutches or how many babies you're kind of like generally wanting to shoot for every year, or are you not even thinking like that?
I mean, yeah, here's the thing, man. Like I feel like after having a year like this, the whole like quantity of things is like, I mean, that's cool, but I'd rather breed for just like quality, like meaning like I don't want to pair just a pair. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, okay, I guess that male's not going to get the job done. Let me just throw homeboy in there who's like just a sarong or something. Like I have designer males. I have 9 designer males that are ready to fucking rock and roll. Okay. So one of those motherfuckers better get it done. And if not, I kind of want to just either figure it out the next year. But I kind of, you know, Mark Hager taught me this, like, you know, whatever pairing you have in mind, that's the pairing. Like no switcheroos, no fucking like stick to it and see what happens. And so I had that mentality going into this coming year. But again, like I have backup males for backup males. So even if one male isn't getting the job done, I could go to another male. So honestly, man, with all the males that I have ready this year, I could probably produce more next year than I did this year. Because I had out of the 7, 7, yeah, because I have another clutch that's about to lay. I have another clutch that's literally about to lay in 10 days or 15 days. So that's my 7th. I guess, I don't, do we count that this year? How's that work? Does that count for this year or next year? Well, okay, can we get an agreement in the chat on how that works, please?
I had a Tiger Rat clutch that was laid super off season. It was laid in October of last year, and they hatched in January. I counted them for this year, but that's just me. I think it counts when the babies are born.
See, I thought about that. I'm like, okay, I think it should count when they actually come out and they're but again, I think I could at least say I got 7 clutches, like, because clutch is a clutch. That's a clutch. I'm not saying, okay, so let's say she gives me 15 eggs. I'm not going to say I hatched 85 babies this year.
Yeah, but you got 7. I think that's reasonable. You could say
that'd be cap.
It would be, yeah.
But I could say I got 7 clutches.
Yeah.
So I guess you could say the clutch, but you could actually say how many did you hatch?
The technicality.
Your technicality, you know.
Yeah.
You know, same, but different.
Transitive property.
No, but honestly, dude, I don't know, man. I don't have a number in my head, dude. I'm not scared. I'll tell you that much. I could take on 100 babies easily. No, okay, hold on. Gods, I'm so sorry. I take that back. I did not mean to say easily. That's not an easy thing. But I want the smoke. I want 100. I think that's my next big feat is 100 eggs, 100 established, or whatever, 120 eggs, 100 established. I just want to establish 100 chondros in 1 year. That's my next big, huge, and it can happen 5 years from now. I don't give a fuck.
Rico shit.
Yeah, well, because dude, I mean, somebody has to. You know what I mean? Rico's a huge inspiration to me. I never got to meet the guy, but we're friends with a lot of those people who've been close to Rico, like Gary, like Ryan, many others, Marshall. And man, if I could carry any bit of that guy's energy, I'm all for it, bro. Like if I could be a mini Rico, I will be a mini Rico all day, every day, please. Because somebody has to do it, Steven.
It's crazy to see the evolution of the chondro community. It's been it's been wild to watch from the outside looking in. I mean, what's your outlook on it at this point moving forward? Obviously there's a lot of new people getting into it. What are your thoughts on the longevity of some of these newer keepers into chondros?
I mean, I'm trying to be more open-minded. Like I don't like the pushy ones. You know, you have ones that are like trying to like do stuff like research wise, and it's like, dude, you just got your first chondro. Like, relax, okay? Like, fucking enjoy it for a little bit, you know. But I get it. Like, I was that excited individual, but yeah, I want to be clear. I would have never started a podcast without Forrest. I would have never done it. Like, the only reason why I went onto a show to open up my big mouth is because I had someone like Forrest with all the experience to be there with me and to help me along the way. And he was my mentor, and he helped me out a lot and stuff like that. But again, dude, just kind of just enjoying the moments, you know, being a student and just learning as the days go by is the best thing. But again, bro, you can't teach that to some people. Like, I just feel like there are some people getting into the chondro game that are on a rush. Like, they're in a rush, it seems like. And it seems like they're trying to hurry up to figure things out. And it's like, okay, like, let me know how that goes.
Yeah.
Like, let me know how being in a rush goes. Like, let me know when, like, you know, making all these payment arrangements because you need all these chondros this year, like, goes. Like, and again, I'm not trying to knock nobody down, but it's like, dude, what's the rush? Like,
yeah,
like why do you have 20 different chondro payments? Like, what's going on? Like, why do you need this much? Like, and again, not ever do your thing, but in my head, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know, at the end of the day, I people are gonna fuck around and find out. Like, this is, dude, like, going back to what my old friend said to me back in the day, how it's not for the faint at heart. That is so true. And there's a lot of fucking fragile people out there who might not know how to recover off certain losses that they're going to experience. The chondro game will kick you so hard in the balls, bro, and it will make you feel bitter. But as long as you have that passion and you know, I don't care what these things do to me, I'm still going to keep them. You'll be just fine. And just honestly enjoying for what they are, you know, like, again, you know, people shit on the ball python game because people stopped remembering what a real ball python looks like. You know, I think Nick Mutton said that. Nick Mutton says, I don't think people know what a real ball python looks like anymore. It's a lost, you know, kept species because where it's at. And I'm not saying the ball python game is terrible. I love everything that it's doing, but this is not the same thing anymore. And so we want people to realize what a green tree python is, you know what I mean? And what an emerald tree boa is, and knowing just the keeping side of things.
Yeah.
Like, I had people tell me their breeding plans before their first neo, dude. And it's like fucking wild to me, man. Like, what makes you think it's that, like, again, I'm not trying to say you can't get there, but what makes you think it's that fucking cool? Like, you're going to go breed? Like, I don't know. It's not meant for everybody, dude. I don't care. I don't care what anyone says. I could come off snobbish. I could come off like I'm elitist, but no, this shit's not meant for everybody. And not everyone has the same passion behind it. So, but there are ones that do. And I feel like with the amount of people that are coming in, we are going to have the real ones that are willing to get, you know, take the fucking licks on the chin and just figure it out, like myself.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of hype behind everything right now, bro. Like, hype is everything in this goddamn hobby. And, you know, what's unfortunate is you got a lot of people that like to talk more behind their, you know, versus their work, which I feel like that's kind of fading out because right now, financially, people are struggling. So the whole, like, making it seem like you're here doing something when you're just really speaking, you're making no money off the breeding, you're not making any money in the industry, you're just running your mouth. You're going to have to figure out something else to do at some point because it's not paying your bills. And so that's, luckily, like, the whole phonies are starting to figure out something else to do with their life because it's not working out for them. Thank God. But you got the real ones, man. You got the people like ourselves and many, many others that we're associated with that are going to fucking really, really drive this hobby to the next level. And that's what it's all about, man. Like, I try to stay around like-minded people, bro. And that's it. You can't tell me who to hang out with. You can't tell me. I get we should be kind to everyone, and I'm working on just being more kind to everybody. Yeah, I want to be that way. But can't tell me who to be around. You can't tell me who to listen to. You can't tell me who to fucking be mentored by. You can't tell me shit. Like it's all personal choice. And so, and that's what I meant. There's so many awesome like-minded individuals in this hobby who changed my life, and I know you could attest to that. I could make this episode all 2 hours of just me giving flowers to people who've helped me in this hobby. I really can. And I can tell you how much I love each and one of these individual people. And you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. No question. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're coming to like, and I hope I'm right, kind of the end of that post-COVID kind of downturn of the industry where so many people were getting out and there was this overabundance of supply. I kind of almost feel like that period is nearing the end of like a lot of those, you know, fly by night, quick in, quick out. That whole thing is kind of in the past. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that we're still feeling some of the waves of the post-COVID kind of downturn of the industry?
Yeah, I mean, you can see all the sinking ships in the hobby right now. Like a lot of the sinking ships are people who are trying to be on this overnight success sensation in the hobby that they think people could get, which you just can't. And mind you, dude, like you could start your own podcast and you could do whatever the fuck you want, but if you're not really bringing any substance, if you're not really doing anything to relate to reptiles, how far do you expect to go? Like,
yeah,
again, this is a reptile hobby, and what's crazy is you got people who aren't even reptile people trying to be a part of the hobby. And that was a part of COVID. I think you got a lot of people who were just thinking they wanted to be a part of this, but it was more like trying to be cool or something. I don't know. I can't really think for these people. I don't want to be honest. Yeah. But that's definitely that the whole phony era is slowly simmering down. It's slowly starting to come down to the end, I think. And we're always going to have fucking wannabes. We're always going to have
sure.
It's social media. Like we can't control what people do on social media. But when it comes down to like who's who, we all know. Come on, man. We're not stupid, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of as we're winding down a little bit here, I want to talk about that emerald litter a little bit because that one was very near and dear to me as well. So I guess to start it off, I mean, how are all those babies doing that you held back? I see you post them every now and then, and my God, they're
man, that was fuck, man. I honestly, dude, I know this sounds crazy, but take away all 70 chondros that I hatched out this year, and if I just had the emerald babies, I would still be pretty excited. I was already considering the emerald success being the fucking highlight of my year, and it kind of is, to be honest. I would say it really is because what I went through last year, my female had retained 13 fully termed babies that I had to cut. I had to cut her open to look at these, by the way. Very, very very traumatic. So going into the, you know, this year's litter, again, paid real close to attention as far as basking. Coach Rice was a huge, I got to give all my respects to Coach Rice for guiding me through the entire process again this year. You know, giving her a proper basking at a certain time of the day, turning it off, ambience, humidity being on point, hydration, all that just came into a factor. And I feel like that's what made me have success this year. But again, we'll see what happens this year, coming next year. But yeah, I got 9 to come out. Out of the 9, 2 of them had a prolapsed belly, which that was like, you know, we talked about prolapses with chondros. Well, guess what? With fucking emeralds, they prolapsed their stomach. It's terrible. Because if some of these babies come out with others that aren't fully developed, their stomachs are more prone to be opened, and the umbilicus will pull out the guts, basically. So you got to be very, very careful with that if you have a baby that isn't fully developed. And so I had 2, maybe 3. No, I had 2 of those babies where that happened, and they ended up rolling the next day. I ended up tying one of them off, and like, you know, and the belly just, you know, I don't know, can't really explain, but the other 7, or I'm sorry, the other 7, ended up selling 4, held back 3. Okay, and they're all doing great, bro. They're all doing awesome. I've got my little favorite one. I mean, I love them all, but man, I'm obsessed, bro. Yeah, they're doing great. And yeah, bro, I honestly want to relive that more than anything. I want another emerald litter. I really do, and that's why I'm even more adamant about just being dialed in with emeralds and chondros, bro. Like I'm probably first time I'm saying this publicly, but I have someone who's going to be taking all my ball pythons. So guess what, Steven? 16 feet worth of wall space, buddy. Yeah, let that
Scrubs.
simmer. Maybe. Well, right now it's emeralds. So
okay.
My goal right now, what you see on this side, which is primarily chondros, that's going to be the same side with emeralds. Not too, I have a lot of emeralds, bro. I have a lot of emeralds, and they're all being kept in like, Cambro tubs. And I'm like, dude, you're getting too big for that. And so I got some big fucking things that need to be upgraded. So
this is a fucking huge bomb you just dropped on us.
Huge bomb, yeah. So, and again, listen, everything's being worked out still. Yeah, I have a good buddy named Victor who I grew up in this game with, and he's all excited. So we still got to work some quirks and kinks out, make sure everything's gonna be okay. But yeah, the plan is he's taking my racks, my ball pythons. He's 12 minutes away from me. He's gonna do all the breeding, which I'm still gonna be tapped in with him with. He's gonna do all the breeding, all the rodents, okay. And fucking all I have to do is worry about selling the babies. I love selling, no problem. So yeah, so that's
okay. So you didn't sell your collection. You're essentially partnering up with somebody. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I'm not like out of the ball python game. I just found somewhere to put them. So, and again, dude, I'm so excited because there's nothing more than I want to walk in a room full of emeralds and chondros, bro. And I'm talking like fully caged out, fully. Oh, can I drop another bomb right now, real quick? Very excited because I have somebody coming by driving cross country to deliver 4 huge perches that he designed by hand. You know Ron Rundo, the artist?
Yeah.
Bro, so he did his work on my 4. Okay, you know where my tree monitors were in?
Yeah.
So I have my emeralds going in there.
Right.
And he made me 4 of those fucking perches to go in those 4x4x4s. And I guess shipping would have been so expensive where it was actually cheaper for him to drive cross country. But he's like, he wants to come see my place. He's like, I love San Diego. So Ron Rundo is coming to my place cross country to install these perches that are going into these awesome focus cube 4x4x2s that are gonna be fully decked out, bro. I'm decking these fuckers out. Like they're gonna be decked out. And I'm gonna have a male cohabiting with 2 females the entire time. I'm gonna straight zoo it, man. I'm gonna see what I mean. Mind you, there's so 4x4x2s that are next to each other. There's a tunnel, like there's a good side. Remember how I had that tunnel for the male to go? So I have that. So in case I want the male to be with a certain female, I could just lock them or whatever the case. I could always pull them if things aren't working. But yeah, that's the goal. I want 1.2 in each, 8x2x8, I guess, when they're together. But yeah, that whole side of the room, the warmer side of the room, Steven, where the ball pythons are now, that's gonna be all emeralds, bro. Wow. Nothing but emeralds. And then this side, all chondros.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm excited. So that's my next big thing I'm working with Focus Cube on. Patrick inspired me a lot. Do you see his cages, the ones that with the bottoms that come out?
Yeah. Yep.
Dude, my God, those look so tits. So I'm trying to think what style I want to go with. And like what I want to do. I like these, but so many people shitted on my I don't like the doors, or I don't like the thing in the middle. And like after a while, I'm like, yeah, I guess if I could go back, I would rather not have something in the middle that's blocking my view, but I still like my doors. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I do listen to people, and so not always, but I want, I like the clear front, and I want I want it to be most open. Less of the bottom cut off. I rather have an open. I'm working with Steven right now to design a certain enclosure where it's all open face. You could see everything, and cool. I'm gonna have it heavily planted and stuff like that. So
okay,
yeah,
wow.
So yeah, that's this big thing to look forward to for my changes in 2026. And it's gonna be. I'm gonna take all year doing it. I'm not gonna rush it. So, but yeah, I'm excited, man. I got got some new snakes that are gonna be coming in. So. A lot of big things popping off, bro.
Damn. All right. That's awesome. Wow. That's I honestly didn't think I'd see the day when you didn't have the ball pythons there. So that's
I do. I still, they're just not here.
Yeah.
I got I have a rack. I'm gonna keep the baby racks and stuff like that. But other than that whole wall space is gonna be clear for me. So
wow.
But yeah, I'm stoked. I'm excited. Just kind of moving closer to the dream. And that's just working with what I just only want. And
yeah.
And then, but also be good at breeding it. I had this success this year, but if I tank next year, I'm not celebrating. I want to continue this. This whole wave isn't going to die for me. I need to figure out how to have success the next 10 years somehow. Yeah. So, but it's about being dialed in, bro. I'm going to be dialed the fuck in, with the podcast, with everything. So
Yeah, I mean, I guess that might segue into a good last thing to kind of touch on. But what do you see the how the podcast transforming like over the next year? What's 2026 looking like for you think?
Well, I mean, definitely, like, I'm pretty solidified with the hosts, like the people who run it. Like,
Yeah,
couldn't be more happier. But man, I got so many other people that I want to be a part of this network that I'm talking to. So we've already accomplished 7 days a week.
yeah,
Now we're looking at maybe multiple shows in a day. I'm not joking. But I'm talking about like good stuff. Like, it's not repeat information.
yeah,
Like, there's so many species out there, guys. Like, there's so many different things to be talked about that are not being talked about. I could go down a list, and I know you can too. Like, you just said you at one point you had 60 species. Like, are you telling me all those species are being covered right now? No. Like,
oh yeah, no, definitely not.
and, but thing is, they should be. Like, there are many things that need a spotlight in this hobby, and they're not going to get a spotlight if they're not being talked about. And people come here to fucking learn. Like, say what you want about MJ and the drama. Well, yeah, bro, I fucking take on the drama, but people come here to learn about drama, about everything. They learn. You can't tell me this isn't a place to learn. You know what I mean? And so, and I have the best in the game who come and drop fucking episodes here. So I'm not. I got a good amount of people that I still want to bring into the network.
Okay.
And then obviously, like, I got plans for you, Steven. Like, if you want to think about who I think long term, like lifer, you're it, man. Like, if one of my biggest goals is to not only increase what I have going on for my life with this network, but I want that to impact your life. I want it to impact Chris's life, Emilio's, Dave Levison, fucking anybody who commits to this network, bro. I want to just take on with them on this rocket ship that we're going, bro. Because, dude, there's no sky's the limit. Like, I'm talking to some crazy potential sponsors right now. Like, I'm talking to people that will legit change our lives. You know what I mean? So I don't want to lose focus on that, and also, stay relevant with the breeding, because I'm here to breed first and foremost. But this network changed my life, and I know it's changing your life, and I know it's going to change everyone else's life that's a part of it. So that's what I'm all about, man. I want to help everyone else who's been helping me. I'm finally at a point in my life where I'm doing something for other people. I was never known for that, but now I am, and it feels great. I don't want to do anything else but help people now. Not everyone. Don't get me wrong. Don't give me a reason, motherfuckers. I'm not Mr. Just roll over on me and I'll be no, but I do want to take care of people. So just don't be a dick. Just don't be throwing stones when you're at the bottom. Just get out of the bottom, progress, and then we'll be good.
Yep.
See the top.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm definitely. I got an idea to run by you off camera as well. I think.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm loving it, and it's also like, man, I imagine what you're like, how you'd feel not connecting with as many people as you do on a weekly basis. With Reptile,
I took having Enzo. I took a couple weeks off, and like, bro, something's missing out of my life. Like, when I'm not doing podcasts and I'm not talking reptiles, I feel something's missing. Like, it's such a huge piece of my life. And so, and if it wasn't, I wouldn't be doing it. Like, if I didn't enjoy this, like if this wasn't bringing me pure joy and excitement and growth, I would not be. The day I stopped growing, the day I stopped getting excited is the day I stopped doing Trap Talk.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now. I want people to know out there that it's my excitement, and it's because I want to do it. Like this, I want to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I do things I want. I don't ever do things I don't want to do. If I don't want to, going back to me being stubborn, Steven, if I don't want to do something, I ain't doing it, bro. That's it. I don't give a fuck. It's my life. Yeah. It's your life. Do what you want to do.
Yep. Absolutely. No question. Well, I think that's a great kind of great sentiment to kind of round things out on for today. I appreciate you taking the time this morning to get this show done. Appreciate everyone who was watching and listening, especially considering this was not a typical time for the episode. I mean, shoot, any last words you want to leave the good people with before we get out of here? I mean, again, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. This is my favorite holiday of the year, so I'm stoked for tomorrow. So
yeah, definitely. Just want to say again, happy Thanksgiving. Be thankful, guys. Even if this wasn't the best year for you, man, it could be way worse. Understand that life circumstances are heavier the more you kind of look into it. So just be thankful for everything that you have. I want to say thank you to everyone who's been supporting not only me, but this entire network, the people part of the network. And just thank you so much. Like your guys' support is a huge part of my fuel that I fucking thrive off of. And, you know, again, if it wasn't for the support that I get on a day-to-day basis and people tell me how much this is changing their life, dude, I wouldn't. Another reason why I'm not going to stop doing this. So again, and also anyone out there too, guys, I know I've been quite the individual the last 6, 7 years, whatever, dude. I know I'm a work in progress. If I ever rubbed you off, pause. If I ever rubbed you the wrong way, or if I did something disrespectful, I do want to say I'm sorry. I don't mean to always seem like I'm after people. I just don't give a fuck sometimes, but I do at the same time. I don't want to come off as somebody like I really don't care, but I do. It's just, you know, I'm just so locked into what the fuck I'm doing that I have very minimal time to worry about other shit. So again, if anyone out there felt like I disrespected them, I want to say from the bottom of my heart, sorry. Don't give up on me. And to the ones who've never given up on me, thank you so much. The ones who stick by me, people like you, Steven, you guys are family. I appreciate you guys so much. And again, even though this is going on 6 years in the making, this is only the beginning, dude. Mark my fucking words. No doubt. This is only the beginning. So,
yep. Hell yeah. Well, MJ, thank you again for hanging out, doing the episode. This was fucking awesome time. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
And yeah, thank you everyone for watching and listening. So for me, for MJ, for the network, thank you to everybody. We'll catch you all back here next week for a new episode.
Sorry for the interruption, folks, but a quick word from our sponsors. Green tree pythons, emerald tree boas, and plenty other arboreal snakes have been quite the popularity here at the Trap Talk Reptile Network, which brings me to today's sponsor, the Reptile Perch. Head over to the reptileperch.com and Reptile Perch on Instagram. See what type of design PVC perch is best for your arboreal reptile. But first and foremost, I would also check out David Brom's Green Tree Python availability on the website. And you can also check out his Instagram just to stay current on any projects or any productions that he posts. Thank you so much, David Broms, for your ongoing support. Looking forward to seeing what you have to show in the 2025 season. When you think about building a good community and being a leader of that community, nobody comes to mind better than Mark Hager over at Texas Chondros. That's right. Make sure you head over to TX Chondros on Instagram and also head over to Mark's website, see what he has available Green Tree Python wise, and be ready for quite the 2025 Green Tree Python breeding season out of Mark Hager. He's a veteran in the Green Tree Python game, one of the best and nicest breeders in the Green Tree Python game. He's been putting on the whole state of Texas for as long as I've known him. So if you want to see all the amazing other chondro keepers out of the state of Texas, another good reason to go follow Mark Hager over at TX Chondros on Instagram. And again, head over to his website, texaschondros.com. You can find all the links in the description below. Thank you so much, Mark Hager, for supporting the trap. Cheers. One of the biggest growths we have in the reptile industry today are the rare species of reptiles that aren't worked with. That's right. That's why I went ahead and partnered up again with Brian Susan over at SUNDOWN Reptiles. Brian works with species such as kahua geckos, gargoyle geckos, all species of tree monitors. He works with Abronia and many other cool species geckos that you can check out all on his website. Head over to sundownreptiles.com, see what he has available. Brian's one of the best doing it in the reptile industry today. He's been on the show multiple times, so make sure you check out all of Brian Susan's episodes on Trap Talk Reptile Network. But more importantly, for the highest quality of captive bred reptiles, make sure you head over to sundownreptiles.com and make sure you give him a follow on Instagram. Thank you again, Brian Susan over at SUNDOWN Reptiles. One of the things I love about being a part of the reptile industry is all the learning, okay? Learning can be fun, and I can prove that to you. Thank you so much to today's sponsor. It's Gary Scavino over at gs.reptiles. I highly recommend you head over to his YouTube channel, follow all this man's content when it comes to learning about rare species of snakes you could be keeping in the hobby, and also just finding out how easy a lot of these rare species of snakes are to keep in general. So thank you so much, Gary Scavino of GS Reptiles. Again, head over to his YouTube channel. Also head over to his Instagram to be on top of all of his current work and be ready for a big year over at GS Reptiles. Thank you so much, Gary, for your ongoing support. I really appreciate it. Cheers.